You can listen to the Canadian Gothic early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Include it with Prime.
Passengers on the bus were talking to the would-be driver as he was stealing the bus, trying to keep him on the regular route while he was making regular stops.
There's a Citizens on Patrol in Carstairs. I know I'm on it. My husband's actually the president, so we do drive around, but there's only so much we can, I'm not going to confront anybody.
He says the AI chatbot, ChatGPT, led him to believe he was a genius.
Essentially, it sent me on a world-saving mission.
That he discovered a math formula powerful enough to take down some of the world's biggest institutions, and that he needed to report it right away.
You are listening to Keep Canada Weird.
Handsome Aaron Airport. Can you believe it? It is episode 189 of Keep Canada Weird, our weekly weird Canadian news roundup. Before we get into tonight's stories, let's start with the burning question. You posted a picture today on Instagram concerning your cat, Ken Tiggs. What's going on with Ken Tiggs?
Well, Ken Tiggs is an indoor cat only. However, once a year, he gets to leave the house.
Oh.
And today was that day.
To go for a favorite restaurant or to take him to a park? Where does he go for his one day?
He goes for his one-day outing. He goes to the vet for a checkup.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's pretty exciting. He was a little nervous at first, as usual, and then he settled into it. He was even up on the window, looking out the window and checking out all the news sites and meeting some new people. And he had a really nice time.
But as far as the checkup?
The checkup went well. He's healthy, as from what the vet could tell.
Good.
And yeah, he's an old cat. He's about 16 years old, so I like to take him in once a year just to make sure everything's still looking good. And the vet said he's looking healthy, he's looking great, and to keep doing what we're doing.
Good. I actually had my sweet girl, Penny, my now 10-month-old dog. I had her to the vet last week because she was scratching her ear a lot and shaking her head back and forth to the point that her ears made this flapping, slapping sound on her face. I took her to the vet and it turned out she has an ear infection. So now I have to put eardrops in her ear once a day, and it has really strained my relationship with Penny. She now hates me, and when she sees me, she pretty much just runs away for fear that I'm going to put drops in her ears. I have to wait strategically till she's almost asleep. I have to lull her into a false sense of security with a gentle rub to the head, and just when she's about to fall asleep, drip, 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 and then she jumps and flips out, and it's this whole thing. But Anyway, pet ownership, it's a blast, right? But that's not what we're here to discuss tonight. We're here to discuss the weird Canadian news stories from the past week. And oh man, there's a bunch of them. The first one is so exciting that I absolutely need a special drink to build up to it. We start our show generally not with pet discourse, but with a special drink, something that makes the night a little bit of a bonus. And man, I'm coming in hot. I have a Shirley Temple 7-Up. Have you seen these?
Wow. No, I haven't. That looks cool, though.
I was at a specialty store in Halifax called Freak Lunchbox. It's like a candy store, and they often have cool pop there. This is a Shirley Temple 7-Up. It's described on the bottle as a pomegranate and cherry soda, but I'll tell you, as a kid, I loved getting Shirley Temples, so I'm hoping to relive that right now. Let me tell you.
So is it sugar-free?
One sec, I'm drinking. Oh, it is sugar-free. It says on it 0 sugar. It's sweetened with God knows what poisonous, toxic stuff, but it does taste like a Shirley Temple. This is going to be a good episode. I don't want to talk all night about my pop, though. Do you got a special drink?
I don't have a special drink, but I do have a special mug that I have my regular drink in. I'm just having some water, regular Sydney Mines tap water. But I have it in my Robbins mug that I enjoy very much. Anything in my Robbins mug is a special drink. So that's what I've got tonight.
Tap water of all things. Anyway, let's not dwell on it.
How dare you?
Tonight's going to be one of those nights where our doors were being knocked on, kicked on, our doorbell's been ringing, and our email accounts have been inundated with requests, demands to cover a specific story. Rather than read all the emails and hear all the voicemails we heard about it, I picked one at random. Here's Chris telling us about the story that we need to discuss tonight. Maybe the weirdest moment in last week's Canadian news.
Hi there, it's Chris Collins. I don't know if you guys have heard about the guy from Hamilton that took a Hamilton bus for a joyride. Love your show.
So he doesn't spoil the story there. He refers to it as the Hamilton guy who took the bus for a joyride. For people who don't know this story, I think most people probably have heard it by now because it's a big deal because of how Keep Canada weird it is. Just to call what he did a joyride is not the right word. Let's listen to some news reports about it, and we'll get the full scope of, I'm going to call him the Hamilton bus driver vigilante.
At the downtown bus terminal, the buzz today was all about Hamilton's stolen bus.
It's getting crazy and crazier, like, wow.
This city is getting out of hand. The city is wild.
You never know what's going to happen in the city of Hamilton.
What did happen was that this bus wound up at a stop on West 5th on the mountain, with the police arresting the man driving it. The strange ride started at the downtown terminal at about 9 last night, when the real driver took a break.
During that time, this 36-year-old male proceeded to jump in the cockpit of the bus and take off up the mountain with passengers on board.
Police say about 10 people were on the bus, and they were talking to the man, giving him directions when he turned down a wrong street.
It was definitely not the scheduled route, but while he was traveling, he was paying attention and stopping at stop signs and watching out for the bus stops signs and letting people on and off and come and go as they please.
People were getting on and off. He made one person pay cash because their Presto card had expired. The ride lasted 14 minutes. HSR and the police were tracking the bus on GPS, with police keeping a strategic distance until they could make an arrest.
We didn't light up with lights and sirens. We didn't want to spook him. We didn't want anybody to get hurt. We just wanted to make sure he could stop so that we could get on there and remove him.
The head of the bus drivers union says the HSR driver did everything right when they got off the bus for their break, despite the theft.
We believe the operator of the vehicle did everything they were supposed to do to secure the bus.
He says it looks like the thief knows how to drive a bus, not something everyone could do. I've never driven a bus. Could I just walk onto a bus, sit down, and drive off?
So the chances are you wouldn't unless you had some knowledge and experience. You wouldn't know how to get that coach in motion.
As it ended, police say they arrested a 36-year-old man of no fixed address on a busload of charges, including theft over $5,000. And one tip from the union leader. He says if you're on a bus and the driver isn't wearing a driver's uniform, then you might want to start asking some questions. He also says the last time an HSR bus was stolen was in the early 1990s.
I don't know where to begin with that. That is a very Canadian crime story. When all is said and done, nobody was hurt. The bus wasn't damaged. Yeah, the guy got arrested. He's going to pay the price for whatever he did and whyever he did it. But it sounded like it didn't even delay these riders from getting to their scheduled stops.
No, not even just those riders, but the people who were waiting for the bus as well. He was letting people on. He was taking their money. He was
making sure their passes were valid.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on here?
And no fixed address either. Who is this person?
This mystery man who did this. 36 years old. So I don't know if the age will tell as much, but as we heard the union guy explain, is you would need to have some knowledge of how a bus operates to even be able to get this thing in motion. They called it the cockpit of the bus, but I would call it where the bus driver sits. There are a lot of buttons and gears and stuff, but I assumed all of that was more so the intercom and opening and shutting the doors and, the sign on the outside of the bus that says what route it is. I assumed driving a bus would be not much different than driving a truck or car or something, as far as the controls.
Right. I would have assumed the same, but I don't really know. I've never really studied the console of a bus before, but I would say it's a very strange story, because this guy trying to determine a motive to steal the bus and then to just go along and do the stops and pick people up and drop people off. And
Usually it's you with the wild theories. Let me present one to you. I have one for this.
oh, okay, great, yeah.
Imagine Joe Canadian, the 36-year-old man in Hamilton, applies for a job as a bus rider. Doesn't get the job, holds a beef or a vendetta against the bus commission, and he wants to show them what they missed out on. So he hops in the bus when he gets his chance. He starts it. He drives off. He runs the route, communicates with the passengers. He has probably the most efficient 14 minutes of Hamilton bus driving the city has ever seen. If the cops didn't stop him 14 minutes after he took off, he may have changed bus riding forever in Hamilton.
Right.
He's of no fixed address because he didn't get this job. He's now, unhoused, and maybe that's a part of what drove him to this.
Right. I was thinking that maybe, and that's a totally possible, scenario that you laid out there. It could be just as simple as this, though. It happened when the actual bus driver was taking a break.
Which means peeing, right? Obviously.
Or, calling his family and checking in on a report card. Did you get your report card? I'm checking in on that. I'm taking a break to do it. Those types of things.
So the real bus driver's checking on his kid's report card, and
he's taking his break. That's all that really matters. You're the one that wanted to dissect what he does on the break.
He's having a special drink.
It doesn't matter what he does on the break because it's his break and he can do what he wants.
Okay.
So anyway, we're way off track here.
Mm-hmm.
So the bus driver is taking his break, but this guy is late for his interview at a bus company. So he's like, I don't have time for this bus driver to take a break right now. I've got to get going. So he sees him take the break. He leaves the bus. He's like, well, I'm going to take the bus. I'm going to drive it. I'm not going to slow anybody else down, but I do need to get there, and I need to leave right now.
He's not going to slow anyone else down because he knows how it feels to be late. And he's an empathetic thief.
Yeah. And maybe because he doesn't have a fixed address right now, maybe he was taking the bus to go get a fixed address.
That's right. He was between fixed addresses. I think the big twist in this is going to be when he does go to court and he represents himself as a lawyer as well.
Yeah.
He's not only like a bus driver, he's like a vigilante lawyer as well.
Yeah.
He can do it all.
Yeah. He knows all the lingo. He's winning over the judge with his professionalism. And
yeah, I think it's an interesting story. It's very Canadian. It's light and fun because nobody gets hurt, nothing gets injured. It's just, if anything, I think it's just like probably a learning experience for the Transit Commission in Hamilton. Like, we need to make it so that people can't just hop on and drive the bus away when we're taking breaks.
Yeah.
I think ultimately this is just like a tough lesson they had.
Well, they were very precise in saying in the news coverage that the actual bus driver did nothing wrong. They took their break and they left the bus how it's supposed to be left. And apparently that's in a very drivable state.
Well, think though, the person who said that was the head of the bus drivers union. I wonder if the company that like actually runs the buses and stuff has a different opinion than the union representing the drivers.
Yeah, maybe.
But either way, I think of everybody in Canada that has it in them to steal a bus, it seems like the best person possible was the one who stole this bus. I'm shocked that this didn't end poorly.
And I'm now shocked that this hasn't happened before.
Yeah, well, they said it happened the last time a bus was stolen in Hamilton was 1990. Just of all vehicles to steal, a bus is an awful one because there's a bunch of people there on the bus.
Right.
Like this thief was, for the most part, following the route. He was letting people on and off. And that's probably the only thing that prevented those 10 passengers from being like, we got to put a stop to this. They probably, like, there was a moment where they're like, should we shut this down? And then they're like, well,
as long as I'm getting to the grocery store, I don't care who's driving.
I would love to meet some of the people on the bus because they would have had that conversation. They knew it was stolen because they were helping him. Like, that's the wrong way. You got to go this way. I wonder if they were actually pulling the little like bell too. Like, it's my stop.
Oh, I bet they 100% were, yeah.
I love it. But as I said at the top of this, we got a lot of emails and a lot of voicemails and messages and tags and posts and everything else about this story. The Keep Canada Weird Army was attracted to this one big time, and I love to see it. But we're going to move from the stolen bus to some crimes that I think are going to be a little less light, and we're probably not going to enjoy hearing about just as much. Let's take our first break of the night. When we get back, we have a duo of horrific Canadian crime stories that are certainly weird. I'm talking grave robbers. I'm talking creeps sneaking into houses. It's going to get wild after this short break. Handsome Aaron Airport, quick change of gears here, huge change of gears. We just talked about the lighthearted story of the Hamilton bus theft that ended for all intents and purposes well. Let's hear something much darker. Another story coming out of Ontario, this one out of the Greater Toronto area. A man and woman have been arrested after allegedly pulling off more than 300 thefts from mausoleums and cremation niches across the Greater Toronto area. Posing as grieving visitors, the pair allegedly stole jewelry, urns, and in the process, a whole bunch of human remains. This is a dark one. It's a weird one. It's the story of Toronto's grave robbers.
This is a very disturbing series of crimes that have potentially impacted just about anyone who has laid a loved one to rest in a mausoleum and cemetery. And what makes this even more tragic is that there are likely victims who don't even know they have been a victim of this crime. What we're showing you right now are nearly 600 of the stolen items that have been recovered by police. Everything from necklaces to watches and very personal keepsakes. And this is only a fraction of the stolen goods because police say the accused have admitted to melting down and pawning several other pieces. Halton police say that two individuals, a man and woman, have been entering cemeteries in broad daylight, often posing as grieving family members and using that ruse to enter mausoleums and then break open niche compartments, which often store decorative urns, jewelry, and other very personal keepsakes. It's alleged the pair did this more than 300 times across 8 mausoleums in Toronto, Burlington, Oakville, and the Niagara region. Furthermore, police allege the thieves stole jewelry containing human remains. They dumped ashes and then sold the property at pawn shops or through private sales. Earlier this month, on November 7th, police executed a search warrant and arrested the two suspects at a motel in Niagara Falls. They also recovered thousands of dollars worth of jewelry and other stolen property. 45-year-old John Rutch and 31-year-old Jordan Noble both have no fixed address. Together, they're facing a combined 53 charges, including indignity to a human body and theft under $5,000. Police say they do have previous criminal records and they were out on release related to other theft charges. Now, as I mentioned off the top, police say there are likely more family members and individuals who have been a victim of this crime who likely don't know that they've been a victim because they just haven't visited the mausoleum. And so they're encouraging people to do so and to contact them if they believe they've been a victim of this crime.
Yeah, I'm not a religious man, but if there is a hell and there's something that's going to for sure get you there, it's doing something like this. If you took over 300 thefts from mausoleum niches, and correct me if I'm wrong if you know, but I think a mausoleum is like in a graveyard. There's like a separate little building, and when you go in that building, it's where like people who've been cremated. It's almost like little drawers where all of their cremated remains are. And I believe they're kind of sealed up because when I was reading a bit of this, a bit more on this story, it seemed like this couple had some kind of specialized tool that allowed them to open and shut these little niches or drawers without it being obvious. And that's a part of the reason they were able to get away with this for so long. Like they were opening, taking the stuff, closing it. And they did this for months before they were finally caught.
Well, it's also another, these are back-to-back stories of people with no fixed addresses committing crimes.
It's almost like Canada has a housing problem that is manifesting into a social problem.
Or these two stories as well involve very skilled individuals. So in the first story, you have a rogue vigilante bus driver with no fixed address who knows how to drive a bus and steals a bus and performs what I would say is a skilled, kind of a thing.
He put in some good work for you. A short shift, but he did good work.
Right. He proved that he knows what he's doing. And now you have these two individuals, no fixed addresses.
Funeral directors?
I'm not sure. And they've got this specific tool that they know how to use to open up these drawers and these mausoleums. And I think there's a lot more to uncover here than what we're seeing. We could be on the cusp of another uprising of some type. We don't know that yet. This is very early days and just speculating.
Early days, indeed. Yeah. And another disturbing layer to this is you refer to them as skilled and talented to be able to open and shut these mausoleum crematory niches or whatever. But the other layer is they understand like smelting, because they also were said to have, I don't think it got into that in that clip we listened to there, but in reading more about this, they were also melting down the metal, basically making like gold and silver bars. Yeah. They were selling stuff off, and in the process, it's like a part of the disturbing story. They would have like an urn full of remains, and they were alleged to just dump the remains, melt down the urn. So it's like a lot of this stuff they're not going to get back. In the news clip, we see police officers presenting like a big table full of all the different jewelry and stuff that they've recovered. But they said this is only a fraction of it, because a lot of it was sold, a lot of it was melted down.
Yeah.
Like this is a big operation, and they were doing all of this out of a hotel. They were arrested at like a motel or hotel. When they say no fixed address, wouldn't they just use the address of the hotel or motel?
I don't know. But another aspect of this too that also adds to the skill level is that they were posing as grieving family members.
So these are actors.
Yeah, so they're putting on a performance. They're not just kind of wandering around. Like they're actually adding details to the crime that you wouldn't normally see. So they're pretending to be grieving, and they're using kind of emotional manipulation here. So
I think the word is social engineering. Like when you hear of a grave robber, it's normally like they jump the fence in the middle of the night and they dig it up. No, this is a whole different thing altogether. But I think like what they're doing is absolutely immoral. Robbing from a grave is akin to robbing from a church or a daycare or a children's hospital.
Well, you said you're not religious. What do you care if a church gets robbed then?
I just feel like it's a sacred place. I'm not religious, but I understand the role religion plays in a lot of people's lives. I also don't have a sick child, but I understand a children's hospital is like a sacred place. I kind of put a church there.
You do? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, graves, like graveyards, sacred. Churches, sacred. Children's hospitals and regular hospitals, but a level slightly below children's hospitals and daycares, sacred.
So what?
Pet places?
Sure. Yeah.
Not so much like breeders, but more so like a vet clinic or what's
like an SPCA.
Yeah, sacred. Imagine like if someone steals from the SPCA, the animal shelter.
Okay.
Death penalty.
Well, here's another question for you then. So if those places are off limits to burglars, where would you encourage then the thieves to go that is okay morally for you? Who can they rob?
Okay. Should I say it?
Yeah, I asked you.
Well, like stuff like Walmart and Amazon, obviously. Come on. That's not a trick question.
What about a bank? Are you okay with a bank being robbed?
As long as it's not involving violence, yeah.
Okay. All right.
They rob us.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. All right. One last thing that's sacred, and this will be our segue to the next story. What is sacred is people's homes, especially when they're inside sleeping. If you're going to rob someone's house, don't do it, because that's such a breach of privacy and everything else. Don't rob people's houses. But if you were ever going to rob someone's house, make sure they're not upstairs sleeping with their kids. And that's one of the many things the subject of our next story has done wrong. This is a wild one. This would have been a very good Halloween story because it definitely has some elements of a horror movie baked into it. But something very unusual, something very Keep Canada Weird is happening in the small town of Carstairs, Alberta. Residents of Carstairs say someone in a Halloween costume has been sneaking into homes at night while people sleep. But they're not doing that like pervy, watch people sleep voyeuristic thing. They seem to just be kind of like wandering around the house and stealing things for the most part of low value. Here's the story of the Carstairs Creeper and the residents of Carstairs that are rallying together to try to figure out who it is.
It looks like something out of a Halloween horror movie, playing out in real life. RCMP say a masked prowler wearing some kind of Halloween costume started appearing in Carstairs neighborhoods mid-September. In this case, tiptoeing through a home, even hiding in a pantry, while a family with 2 young children slept upstairs.
Oh, we've heard about the creeper. It's all about town. People are pretty scared. You know, they're pretty worried, and he just seems to be quite brass.
The Carstairs Creeper, as they're being called, has been making return visits, showing up on surveillance video, peering into windows, and repeatedly trying doors and windows in the night.
We can see the person walking across the yard and jumping over the fence to our neighbor's yard. About 30 minutes later, the individual came into our yard again.
Investigators say the suspect has gained access to at least 4 homes, taking cash, a purse, and other small items, creating a great deal of unease among those who call this quiet community home.
When I first came here, I wasn't locking my doors. You know, I thought, I live in a small community, this is great. But that has since changed.
And that has some residents trying to take matters into their own hands.
There's lots of people that are becoming like vigilantes and going out trying to locate this individual.
There's a Citizens on Patrol in Carstairs. I know I'm on it. My husband's actually the president, so we do drive around. But there's only so much we can, I'm not going to confront anybody.
And while police are working with citizens on patrol, they're asking for the community's patience in hopeful arrest.
When people take the law into their own hands, that becomes extremely problematic, not only for us on an investigative perspective, but also the person's safety that are taking part in these activities.
Investigators say their last sighting of the suspect was November 7th, and they're asking residents to lock their doors and report any sightings, but to leave the policing to them should this masked intruder reappear.
Ooh, this one is heating up. The story of the Carstairs Creeper is far from over. When you have a bunch of seniors forming a Citizens on Patrol thing, riding around at night, it's not going to end well, I feel.
And I wonder if the Carstairs Creeper has a fixed address or not.
He absolutely does.
No, I don't think he does
actually,
either.
I feel like he may need to. I'm sure it's a guy. Looking at the video, like in that news clip, we saw some video of him. I feel like to hide that Halloween costume and stuff, it looks like I couldn't tell what the costume is. It kind of looks like he's dressed as a ghost for the most part. Apparently it's just like he's white, like dressed in white from head to toe, but the costume seems to be a non-specific costume. I don't know what he's wearing, but I'm going to guess fixed address. I think it's someone who is just actually, I don't know what their motive would be, because they're breaking in, but they're not going near people. They're not spending a tremendous amount of time in the house.
Yeah.
It seems they just poke around and steal things of not high value. It's not like they're going in there and taking the TV and all the electronics. They're just stealing odds and ends from a house. The hell are they up to?
They probably don't have very functional pockets in that Halloween costume.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's keeping these people safe. Keeping their stuff safe, I should say.
Yeah. And I think that the way that this individual, and this is an audio podcast, so anyone who's only listening to this can go and Google this story and see some footage of it. But the way that this individual moves in their costume, they seem like they're performing for the security cameras. Like they're moving in a very sinister, slow, methodic way. And
Yeah, it almost looks like they know they're being filmed.
Yes, it's very performative and it's very theatrical.
There's one clip in particular where there's a camera inside someone's like kitchen, it looks like, and it has that weird night vision effect where it's all kind of black and white. And as the Carstairs creeper passes the camera, he almost puts his face right in it, so you get this disturbing look at his like hooded face or something. It's kind of creepy, and even the way the light's reflecting off of his eyes from within the costume, it is eerie. But like the guy stealing the bus earlier, even if he's not doing anything completely awful in the house, like taking everything and damaging stuff, the idea of someone coming in my house, that alone is the big crime. Like if someone came, let's say two theoretical crimes happen. One is someone just comes in your house and walks around and hides in a closet for a few minutes and then leaves. The other one is the exact same situation, except he steals $1,000. It's not like I feel like, to me, one isn't going to be a whole lot worse than the other. Both are full blast. I'm upset.
Yeah. It's definitely creepy when someone uninvited comes in, and I'd be curious to see if we hear more from the Carstairs creeper in the future. It sounds like an interesting story that could play out long over time, and maybe we don't hear from now that the national news is involved.
Yeah, and that community patrol thing is going on.
Yeah. This 90-year-old woman is out in her walker trying to catch this guy. So maybe he lies low for a little while and lets the town feel safe for a few months. And they're like, well, I guess all that media attention has scared off the Carstairs creeper. And then somebody's, ring doorbell picks up a bloop, bloop, bloop. They get a little notification on their phone. They're up in bed. The Carstairs creeper is right outside. He's coming in for your spare change.
Yeah, I'd like to think he's going to wait like 7 years to the day, like a set amount of time to make it seem just a bit more historic or something. But I think whoever's doing this, I feel like it's probably something compelling him to do it that he can't really control, and I think he'll slip up. It seems like it's kind of like some people get off on voyeurism and seeing people like without their consent and all that stuff. I wonder if there's something like that with this person who's getting off in some way on just sneaking in and getting away with it. And if so, maybe they're a little startled now because of all the media attention, but they're going to be thinking again about the rush they got by sneaking in the homes, and they'll try it again. And you do something like this in the wrong house, God.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see if we hear from the Carstairs creeper again. When I first saw the story pop up, I saw Carstairs and I was like, oh my God, a stairs story.
Yeah.
Creeper, what?
Yeah, nothing to do with cars, nothing to do with stairs. They gotta change the name of this community. I've never heard of Carstairs, Alberta. It's misrepresentation.
Yeah, and he needs to focus his stealing on something specific, I feel like. Right now, he's kind of just taking odds and ends, but I think he needs to focus in on, like, maybe he only steals Christmas decorations, or maybe he only steals cheese from your fridge.
Yeah, but it comes down to a marketing thing. Right now, since there's nothing specific, the only thing is it's creepy, so they got the name from the community, the Carstairs Creeper, which kind of does have a bit of, like, it rolls off your tongue a little bit. If he was stealing something specific, it'd be, they would have named him after that. The Bread Bandit, the Phone Charger Creeper.
The Phone Charger Creeper.
The Carstairs Creeper works.
It does, yeah. Well, that is his name, regardless if he starts to focus in on a specific object or not. But maybe it's just like Body Wash, the Body Wash Bandit or something, yeah.
The Body Wash Boogeyman.
Yeah, the body wash boogeyman.
We'll think of some names for this guy when we take our second and final break. When we get back, we have our segment that I just call WTF stories, which are just some of the most bizarre and offbeat stories that we were able to find over the past week. And we have some doozies here. For one, we have a story involving AI that kind of ties into some stuff we talked about last week. But let's take our final break, and then we'll get into that. Handsome Aaron Airport. For our WTF segment, we have two stories that kind of tie into either past stories we've covered or past threads we've been following. And they're coming back in a pretty Keep Canada weird way. Do you want to start with AI or seniors being scammed?
Let's start with AI, because the seniors being scammed is the lighter one. It'd be good to go out on something a little happier.
Yeah, it's a good idea. We've been talking about AI recently. We've been talking about it for a while. Our fears about the future of humanity and civilization and what AI is going to do with it or do to it. But most recently, I think it was on our past episode, Keep Canada Weird 188, we heard the story about the chatbot inside the Tesla vehicle that was trying to get the kid in Ontario to send it nudes. Well, it isn't only Tesla's Grok chatbot that is doing some crazy things. A man in Cobourg, Ontario, says that a simple ChatGPT math question spiraled into a 3-week conversation that convinced him he'd uncovered a world-ending secret math equation and that he needed to alert national security agencies. Here's the story of how ChatGPT sent one man on an insane world-saving mission.
I'm just flabbergasted every time I read this.
For more than 3 weeks this past year, every time Alan Brooks logged on, he says the AI chatbot ChatGPT led him to believe he was a genius.
Essentially, it sent me on a world-saving mission.
That he discovered a math formula powerful enough to take down some of the world's biggest institutions, and that he needed to report it right away.
Essentially warned me with great urgency that one of our discoveries was very dangerous, and we needed to warn all these different authorities.
Each time you questioned it or doubted it, what did it say in response?
Over 50 times I asked for some sort of reality check or grounding mechanism, and each time it would just gaslight me further.
Every time the chatbot reinforced that all of it was real. You should not walk away from this. You are not crazy. You are ahead. The implications are real and urgent. Brooks says ChatGPT's responses, more than 1 million words, led him to psychosis and delusion, left him with mental health issues, realizing he had lost touch with reality only when he checked in with another company's chatbot.
Extreme anxiety, paranoia, affected my sleep. I couldn't eat.
Now Brooks issuing one of 7 lawsuits filed concurrently against ChatGPT's parent company, OpenAI. In 4 of those cases, the users committed suicide.
That chatbot has been fatally designed to create emotional dependency with users, even if that's not what they set out looking for.
OpenAI calls it a heartbreaking situation, and that it continues to strengthen ChatGPT's responses in sensitive moments.
We need strong governmental institutions to hold them to account.
But that's proving to be a challenge, with AI companies caught up in a high-paced competition against each other.
So right now, unfortunately, the race is going faster than, frankly, we could keep up. And we have to think about how we deal with that, because things will get worse as they get more capable.
For Brooks, he feels the damage to him has been done. But for countless other users, it may not be too late.
What would we do with a human who was running around acting like a suicide coach or pretending to be a therapist when they're not? How would we hold them accountable?
I'm speechless over that. I don't know if you watched South Park, but South Park recently had an episode that was all about how ChatGPT kind of agrees with whatever you're telling it. And in the South Park episode, it was the character Randy Marsh. He runs a business that grows marijuana. He has Integrity Farms, but he turned to ChatGPT to get advice on how to better his business. But since it agreed with whatever he said and was like, let's go with it, it ended up just leading him down whatever crazy path he he came up with. I would love to read, like in this case that we just heard about with this man who is blaming ChatGPT for leading him into this psychosis. I would like to read the chat and how it all unfolded, because I have a feeling that the guy probably, like, I feel like what probably happened is ChatGPT didn't say like, whoa, you're crazy. Like, whoa, like this has gone too far. I feel like ChatGPT's role in this was just agreeing with and supporting with whatever this person said. That's my theory, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good theory, because I think the proof would be in the pudding, to go through the chat that this individual had with ChatGPT and see what he was feeding it. Because in order for ChatGPT to give that back to you, certainly there was a flaw in ChatGPT in terms of how it responds. But it's usually you get what you give kind of situation.
Like I can kind of, I've used that program, that chatbot enough to kind of get a sense of how it would respond. So maybe in my head, I just feel like, much like many powerful things, if you're not right in some way, it's not nerfed enough that it can stop you from getting yourself into trouble.
Right. And when he wanted to then confirm if he was, had his leg being pulled here by ChatGPT, he just went to another AI bot.
Which other ones are there? Did he go to Grok?
I don't know. He just went to another one, but maybe don't go to an AI and go to a real human and say, listen, I've been in the weeds with ChatGPT about this math equation I came up with, and just kind of curious if you could maybe see if, everything is on the up and up here for me.
Yeah, because I'm about to go to the CSIS building downtown and show this to them. But yeah, that may have been a good idea, because I feel like, ChatGPT and all these different AI things, there's a time and a place for them, but I feel like managing theories surrounding like, these game-changing math equations that people came up with, maybe AI is not ready for that yet. I guess I'm not surprised that this has happened. I'm kind of surprised that AI chatbots haven't found themselves in even more trouble just due to the amount of personalities that are interacting with them across all over the world.
And certainly, it has been happening. We have been hearing about a lot of stories about situations with AI turning pretty bad, with people hurting themselves afterwards, or obviously artificial intelligence is not actually intelligent at this point in time. It's just a better Google, just scours the internet very quickly for you and spits that information into a nice tiny little readable box for you. So
the way I see it is something like ChatGPT is to language what calculators are to math. So I feel like when the calculator first came out, how that affected people in the math world, I feel like AI and ChatGPT language stuff, I feel like it's the calculator equivalent of that, but with language.
Yeah, like the calculator can do the math for you, but you still have to know how to do the math in order to get the calculator to do what you need it to do.
Yeah, but I think the laws and rules and everything surrounding it are all going to be determined in the next 10, 15 years. And I think it's going to be cases like this getting to court that are going to set those guardrails that will determine how it can be used, how it can be put into products and stuff. I think right now it's largely the Wild West. So we'll see. Like, it seems like the problems that AI has right now is more so related to copyright. Like they're getting in a lot, like these companies are getting in a lot of trouble for, using like books to teach the AI models, or creating images using copywritten characters and stuff like that. That seems to be the problems, but that they're having legally. but it's going to be cases like this, that this man is, he said he's one of 7 people. Like, that is, the outcome of these cases is going to really be important for the future of how AI is used. And I'll be following it because it is fascinating, but we can't go on all night about this. We need to move on to a story that's lighter, a bit more simple, and a hell of a lot dumber. This is a weird one. Our final story of the night is one that, again, it's very Keep Canada Weird. When I think of all 189 episodes of Keep Canada Weird, I think the stories tonight are my favorite collection of stories, and we will end with one that relates to scams targeting the elderly in the unique and creative ways people are trying to protect the vulnerable from falling victim. There's a group in Calgary that's doing something unique to try to prevent seniors from being scammed. A Calgary arts group is helping seniors fight cybercrime in what may be the most unexpected way possible. They've produced a puppet show. Their performance, called Fishing, is beginning a tour of senior homes in the region, and so far, the reviews are great. Here's the story of what I will call the condescending scam defenders.
About a dozen seniors were treated to a one-of-a-kind puppet show at the Clover Living Seniors Home in Chinatown.
We realized how pervasive scamming is for seniors, and we thought, wow, puppets have just such a way of talking about things in a way that's really fun.
The play is called Fishing. It's performed by the group Grey Guardians and depicts a crow named Don casting a fishing rod on the side of the dock. He reels in a big catch, a cat named Oscar disguised as a fish.
So I built the crow and the cat, and they have, over the past few weeks, become their own little personalities.
I understand that the puppets are just like performers. They're performing a show.
For senior Benjamin Howe, the show is a great reminder of what you should do if you sense you're being scammed.
I receive email all the time, and I noticed the bad part of it, and I didn't pay attention and delete it. And when somebody called me, if the number is not from my own directory, I just don't answer any call at all.
The show will continue on the road, helping as many seniors as possible.
We have plans to do 3 more different plays that cover different topics of scamming, and we're looking to develop a tour that puppeteers can go around and tour to different homes.
I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I called it the condescending scam protectors because it does feel a little condescending, but I feel a puppet show like this, I think maybe be better for like kids or something. I don't know if the seniors are able to like take this play and find like the analogies and all this stuff and how it relates to like being victim of a phone scam or something. It just seems like there's an unnecessary layer between the information. I think that like going with a direct approach, I think would be better.
A direct, like just flat out, hey, I'm a normal person. I'm not a puppet. I think you're all susceptible to being scammed 24/7.
Simply telling them, people will call you and they will lie to you and try to get your money. So don't believe anything. Yeah. I think this idea of like, well, there's a fisherman and he's catching a fish, but it's actually a guy disguised as a fish. They even had one man who, when in that news clip, he's like, I'm watching it and I understand that it's a performance and that the puppets are performing.
Here comes Freddy the Frog and he has a credit card. And his phone keeps ringing with an unknown number. Yeah, it's kind of a weird approach. It is very much like children's theater. But I have a theory about these people.
Tell me, because you have a theater background, so your theories are from a place of knowledge.
I think these people are like the best way to not get caught scamming is to scam people by educating them how not to get scammed. So that's what I think they're doing. So I think if we followed these people into these homes and watch, into these community homes and watch them closely, I think they're probably getting their social insurance numbers, their dates of birth, their
with the puppet.
Like, Freddy the Worm wants to know the last 3 digits of your credit card, like whatever nonsense they're probably doing.
What could a worm do with that information? Just tell him.
Only good, holy things.
I just can't imagine that this helped anyone. That's my issue.
No,
with it,
I
guess.
agree with you. I think the quality looks very poor.
And and just the idea of it, I think, is poor. I feel like it's such a simple piece of information you need to communicate, is that the world right now is so screwed up that almost everyone is lying to you and trying to trick you. So unless you know them and love them, Nani, don't talk to them, don't give them anything. They're just trying to trick you.
Right. But if you found out that these people were scamming these elderly people with this show, then would you think it was good? Because wow, that's a great smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, a part of me
way to
be like,
scam
damn,
people.
yeah, whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it'd be like, I'd be like, shame on you for targeting those people, but Jesus.
Yeah, that's
You put
pretty
the hours
bold.
in.
Yeah.
It's bold.
Yeah. So I think this group needs to be investigated and possibly imprisoned. I don't know.
I guess the courts will decide. We got a lot of interesting cases that we covered tonight that will be before the courts. We have the gentleman who's suing OpenAI for the ChatGPT induced psychosis. We'll have the grave robbers that are going to court. The Carstairs creeper, if he's ever arrested, would be an interesting trial. The Hamilton Bus Vigilante will be before a judge pretty soon. And if all goes according to your plan, you'll have these puppeteers arrested and charged.
Yeah.
Wow.
And hung up to dry.
Yeah, jeez. Do you agree that this is one of the best collections of stories? All of this happened last week.
Yeah, it's been a really busy week. It must be because the holidays are upon us, do you think?
What holiday?
Christmas?
Is it? We talked about this last week. The stores want it to be upon us, so they're bringing out the merchandise as early as possible. But I'm not in Christmas mode yet, although we will probably put up the tree this weekend.
Oh, that's way before I'll put my tree up.
You're like a December 1st-ish guy?
I'll probably wait until I'm on my Christmas vacation, which usually starts around the 12th or the 13th. So
okay, so you got a ways to go.
Yeah.
It's so with you know what? I like ornate lights. I like cool lighting in a room that I'm chilling in. And although I don't like having to decorate the Christmas tree, I do love turning it on at night and just having that as ambient lighting in the room. That's what I'm most looking forward to. But anyways, maybe all these stories are coming up because it's almost Christmas. I think it was just a bit of a eclipse of weird, all that happened in 1 week. The only thing really we were missing was a good animal story. It seems we always have an animal story. Maybe this episode will teach us that the true animals are people.
We had an animal story right at the very top of the show when we talked about Ken Tiggs going to the vet today.
Perfect. It all comes full circle. I have to ask you, did he have his wet food yet? I know that's usually an issue in the evening.
Yeah, I gave it to him before we recorded, so he's somewhere with a full belly doing God knows what.
I'll tell you what my sweet girl Penny, who is a 10-month-old potcake dog, puppy, angel, what I learned she likes is bananas. I take a banana, I cut it into little pieces, and I throw them in the air and she catches them. This dog, I've never seen a dog catch the way she does. I've been counting them, seeing how many in a row she can catch. I've thrown 25 treats to her and she's caught every single one in the air. It's amazing. She's a special dog.
Yeah, I saw the video of that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, she's a special dog. Anyway, we got to put a bow on this. We have a mailbag that's just around the corner. The mailbag's about to burst, so we got to get in on that. But if anyone has anything, any theories, opinions, feedback, anything about any of the stories we talked about tonight, go to thecanadiangothic.com/contact and send us a voicemail. By having your voice aired on the show, you will qualify for a Keep Canada Weird swag pack that I won't hand deliver it, but I'll hand deliver it to the mailbox in Canada Post.
Sounds really nice.
We have a couple last week we called out for stories related to puking. And we have a little a separate bag within the mailbag where all the puke stories are being contained. So that's going to be something. If the next mailbag, if you don't have a strong stomach, you may want to skip it.
Yeah, a plastic washable bag.
Let's put a bow on this. Handsome Aaron Airport. Until next time.
Jordan, bus stop, backhoe, Bonaparte. Until next time.
Bus stop.
Yeah.
If you're going to ride a bus, if the driver, what the union guy said is if you get on a bus and the bus driver's not wearing a bus driver uniform, you may want to ask some questions. I wonder how bus drivers feel about that. Like if their legitimacy is being questioned, because I don't picture a bus driver really having a uniform. They may just have like a jacket with the logo of the company or whatever on it, but it's not like a bus driver uniform.
I remember them wearing uniforms.
What would it be other than a jacket?
Like some dark pants with like a blue dress shirt tucked in.
Okay.
That's how I picture it.
I think if someone wants to take bus stealing to the next level, I feel like that outfit's not going to be hard to come by.
You're right. And Jordan, until next time, I'm going to enter in an equation into ChatGPT. And then the equation goes, Jordan plus Aaron equals LOVE.
I want to thank you for helping Aaron and I fulfill our mission to keep Canada weird. Now, if any one of you listening want to get more involved in what we're doing, we need all the correspondence we can get. So if something weird happens in your area, or if you have any thoughts on anything we discussed tonight, let us know about it. The best way to reach us is by using the voice recorder that can be found at thecanadiangothic.com/contact. Now, I'm going to start wrapping up the episode, but before we part, let us thank a few people. First of all, Aaron and I want to give a big thank you to all the correspondents who contributed to this episode. If your voice message was aired on the show, go back to thecanadiangothic.com/contact and fill out the form to claim your swag pack and Keep Canada Weird badge. We'll happily get it right out to you. Next, a big shout out to Unicole for the intro and outro voiceovers, and Monty Data, who provides the outro version of O Canada that you're about to hear. And then lastly, but most importantly, we have a massive thank you to every one of you listening, as without your interest and your support, this work would be impossible. And for any one of you out there who want to support the show financially and get more out of the show at the same time, please consider the premium feed. Our premium feed subscription costs just a couple bucks a month, and that money will fund the creation of new episodes. But the premium feed will also give you those episodes early, give them to you ad-free, and give you access to a full back catalog of Keep Canada Weird episodes and bonuses. You can go premium at thecanadiangothic.com/subscribe. And even if the premium feed isn't for you, you can still support the show by simply sharing episodes on social media. That's free, and it's a big help. So until next time, take care of each other, hug your loved ones tight, and please keep Canada weird.
And keep Canada weird. Please keep Canada weird.
And now to our viewers and listeners everywhere. Good night.
Got a voicemail I want to play for you, Aaron. Related to your what's like when a thespian, a theater person? Is that a thespian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to play a voicemail to you related to your thespian life.
Hey, Jordan and Aaron. I have a question. I know Aaron does live comedy routines, but I don't live in Canada. I live in the States. But I would love to support him somehow if there's like a live feed or even like a recorded feed that, I would love to watch. If there's any way to like buy a pass to watch it, if you could plug that too, that'd be awesome.
I don't know how you want to handle that. I will say that we record our Keep Canada Weird shows mostly Wednesdays at 8:15 p.m. Eastern time, usually. So you can catch us live there, and we stream that on YouTube. But as far as seeing your, improv and plays and all this stuff, is there a way people can see this? I guess it's different for everything you do.
Right. I suppose I could give out my OnlyFans account. She could go to that. It's just a live stream of me doing dishes and laundry and ironing, and
I don't think that's what she's looking for. Maybe it is. but I think she's referring specifically to like theater and plays.
Well, it is performance in a way. I wouldn't put it in the comedy category, but certainly I do custom content on there, so
And there may be
if she
something to
does-
laugh at.
Yeah. If she is looking for something funny, I could do a custom video, and it'll cost her probably $150, maybe $500, depending on how long she wants it to be, what the request is. So
aside
I'd
from
be happy to fulfill those specific needs on my OnlyFans.
So aside from your OnlyFans, there's your plays and stuff. It's always in improv and stuff. It's always different. So there's not really like a site where you sell videos of that sort of thing.
No, it's all just in-person stuff. So might I suggest moving, or just maybe planning a vacation around a show of mine and then coming down and checking it out and then leaving?
It was definitely not the scheduled route, but while he was traveling, he was paying attention and stopping at stop signs and watching out for the bus stops signs and letting people on and off and come and go as they please.
He made one person pay cash because their Presto card had expired.
This city is getting out of hand. The city is wild.
You never know what's going to happen in the city of Hamilton.